Hello boys and liars. Now usually in this series we do unpopular weapons that are sort of forgotten about, and we try to make them work. But not today. Today we're gonna flip the script and check out one of the most popular melee weapons in the entire game. I'm of course talking about the Xoris. This is a Master Rank 4 glyph that has infinite combo duration, and it does primarily slash and puncture damage. It also sports a 20% crit chance, a 2.4 times crit multiplier, and an 18% status chance, so all in all, a good set of stats. The best thing about it though is that its heavy attacks do pure electricity damage with a forced electricity proc, which has always been pretty good, but now that we have melee influence, oh boy. The weapon is also extremely easy to get, because you just get it during Deadlock Protocol. It's essentially free. So let's give it a shot. Or a swing. Or a throw, I guess. There's a reason why people like this. It's because it's easy to get and ridiculously good. Also, it's one of the best weapons when you're farming Granum Void. Let's get a stance on there. Doesn't really matter which one, because we're going to be throwing it anyway. We're gonna go pretty straightforward. Sacrificial Steel for crit chance and pressure for damage. There we go. Do we want to run Killing Blow? We probably do. Let's get that on there. Ooh, what else? Crit damage sounds nice, doesn't it? Probably not. I don't remember if this actually increases the damage of heavies. The reason you want to run Volatile Quick Return if you're going for a heavy build is because it removes the bounces and it makes the glyph easier to use. But the blast radius you get also applies to the blast radius of the heavy attacks. So let's get that on there. Now comes the... I don't have any adapters, that's fine. Let's just buy one. Now comes the big thing. This is gonna be stupid, I'm telling you right now. You don't even need a high rank influence because it just increases the duration, and we're gonna be proccing electricity all the time, so this should be up non-stop. And let's top it all off with a bit of viral as well as electricity. Because electricity is added to the damage over time, so we want to boost it up as much as possible. Alright, bring it on. Okay. Oi, oi, oi. Let's get one. Oh. Oh, baby. And that's electricity without armor strip. Oh my god. Yeah. I mean, we might as well max it out. Dude, this is dumb. This much damage on Grenier without armor strip and no faction mods as well. That's dumb. I actually don't want Whirlwind here, because with a glyph you want to do what's commonly referred to as a double tap, where you throw the glyph, you let it hit whatever you're trying to hit, and then you detonate it, so you get 2 hits instead of 1. And the projectile speed from Whirlwind makes that much more difficult. I guess we don't really need to go for anything in the Exiles this time around. We could get Dispatch Overdrive for move speed, but that's about it. Let's see what it do. No ramp up. Big damage right away. This is just lovely, isn't it? Oh, I love this so much. It's kind of wild that we can just run Steel Path with no armor strip, no pet either. I don't have Harold with me. This is just the weapon itself. A weapon you get from a quest. At like Mastery Rank 4. Yeah, people use this for a reason. This, by the way, isn't the wildest setup you can run on this. You can get way more damage than I'm getting here. Aha, big Grenier Eximus units do need some armor strip. They're just too damn beefy, even for this much damage. So let's swarm them up, and we should be a-okay. This should be relatively quick. Oh, yep. Bit of armor strip page, bam. Hell yeah. Alright. Very good. Here's the thing about this build. You can make it way more ridiculous if you simply outsource Viral somewhere else, like onto a pet, or if you do wield this with a secondary weapon. And then you can run a faction mod, and like Healing Return or Life Strike, actually. You can run Life Strike for healing. And that's gonna be just ridiculous. You're never gonna die, and you're gonna have even more damage. It's just gonna be dumb. I think it's time to take Harold for a walk. There you go. Hello, boy. Not really worried about Corpus, to be honest, but let's give it a test. Yeah, pretty much what I expected here. Poor boy's just melting. If you don't have a lot of weapon slots, or you like to invest into one weapon and just use that weapon a lot, this is the melee weapon to use. It's good fun as well. I like throwing glaives around. Reminds me of the good old times when I used to watch Xena the Warrior Princess on the television. This time around, I am not gonna armor strip the Acolyte. Just in case you don't have armor strip on your setup, so let's see how it do. It's not gonna be as good. Yeah, that's considerably worse, but it's not unusable. You can kill an acolyte with this just fine. Just takes a few more throws. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's give the facade a shot as well. I'm actually very curious about this one. I guess it's mostly going to depend on how many enemies we hit with this, because this scales exponentially with the... yeah, that. Yes, quite. Let's try that again. This scales exponentially with the number of enemies you hit, right? Because the more enemies you hit, the more electricity you proc, and the more electricity is going to be cross-procced via influence. There we go. More enemies, bigger ouchie. I was a little bit worried about the Kulervins and the Necramechs in general, but they seem to be going down fine. The facade, they melt really fast because they don't have armor, but the Kulervins, sometimes when there's like one or maybe two, it takes a few ticks for them to go down. Well, here comes the Necramech. I think Necramechs are gonna be by far the worst. Yeah. I'm not even sure I can hit the Archon shard on its back with the glyph. Plus the status resistance and the general beefiness. Yeah, if you're gonna use this, you need a gun for a Necramech. Like a solid gun that can take it down. I am liking this though, so you can definitely take it on to Deimos as well. You just need to bring a gun for a Necramech. That's not that big of a deal. So here's the final build for the Xoris. For the stance we have Astral Twilight, but either stance would do. It doesn't really matter because the throws are the same. We're running Killing Blow for heavy attack damage and wind-up speed, Organ Chatter for crit damage, and then Vicious Frost and Virulent Scourge for vital. However, you can easily outsource vital somewhere else, onto a pet or onto a priming weapon or even onto a frame. And if you do that, you can then run a faction mod which will absolutely skyrocket your damage, and something else, something like Life Strike even, so that you are essentially immortal, because you're going to be healing with every heavy attack. But anyway, after that we have Volatile Quick Return for bigger heavy attack explosions and to also remove the bounces, Shocking Touch for a ton of electricity, and we top it all off with Sacrificial Steel for crit chance and Sacrificial Pressure for damage. Now the arcane here is a no-brainer, melee influence. This takes the weapon from very good to absolutely ridiculous. You have forced electricity procs on the heavy, so you don't have to worry about status at all, it just works really well. I would recommend some form of armor strip though if you're gonna fight armored factions, whether that comes from a pet or in my case, in this video I was using Inaros with 2 emerald shards for more maximum corrosive procs in combination with Scarab Swarm. It's not entirely necessary, the setup is strong enough to push through lower level Grineer even in Steel Path without armor strip, but if you want to do anything more than an exterminate or capture, I would highly recommend it. I know I've said this multiple times throughout the video, but let me say it again. There is a reason why people like this and why they use it. It's a really strong weapon that's a ton of fun to use, and it's very easy to get. It's essentially free. You also have some options when it comes to the build. You can do a light throw build, you can even do a light attack build if you want to, but honestly, I think a heavy influence setup is the best you can do here. So definitely give it a shot, or a swing, or a throw. And as always guys, I thank you very much for watching and I hope you've enjoyed the video. Then I would also like to extend a special thank you to all the channel members. Thank you very much guys, I really appreciate your support, it means a lot to me. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.